So hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you all are doing well on this fabulous Sunday. If it's Sunday, it must be the Demetra K show. Well, that it is. And so again, thank you for being here. And we are going to have a very exciting time here together. As you guys can also see, I'm sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat, Sadiq. One of these fine days, he's going to tell us if he's completely recovered from being a Democrat. I don't know if that'll ever happen. He explained it once. He says, like one time when he did crack, he might still, do it. So he's always in recovery. Well, he didn't say he was doing crack, but that was the example he used. So anyway, thank you to Donovan and thank you to Marcus for everything that he does behind the scenes and making the show go further. Also, thank you to YouTube and Facebook for being the other side of the conversation, for we enjoy having you guys here, having this discussion. I think that we are one of the other only audiences or shows that read each and every one of your comments, because we feel like you should be included. Well, I've seen a couple people start to do it, but hey, they can't do it like us. Anyway, I'm just playing. So anyway, yes, thank you, YouTube and Facebook. And we would also ask that you share, and like. Get the likes up. I've seen people say that. I don't even know what that means, but get the likes up so that everybody else, I guess, could see it. And so today we're going to be talking about relationship, true or false. And I'm going to be throwing out some things that I've seen kind of trending here and there on the internet. And we're going to try between all of us to debunk some of those things, but really just to have a little bit of fun. Before I give it to Donovan, I thought about talking about Joe Biden. He tweeted and saying that the economy is roaring back, and they put checks into, millions of people's hands. And, the vaccine is, they've vaccinated so many people and everything is good again, right? Well, we know, especially for Black people, that's a bald-faced lie, as the old people would say. And so I just felt like, you know what? Why continue talking about it? We will talk about it. I'm not saying that we never will, but we know it's a lie. He said he was going to stand by Black people. He didn't. He hasn't. So that's all I really care about. He didn't tweet anything specifically for us. And so we're going to talk about something else. So anyway, Donovan, what say you before I get to these comments?
All right, you guys, I look forward to Sundays because I get to sit in with the infamous Demetra K. And again, we welcome you guys and we thank you guys for stopping in, because on a Sunday, there's a lot of things you could be doing. But you guys decided to spend the time with us. And please, please, please do not be a stranger. Hit that Cash App or whatever. Matter of fact, don't even hit the Cash App. Just become a member. It's a lot simpler. Just become a member. That way you'll get the notifications, all the good stuff, the T-shirts, all that good stuff that, you guys can get tuning into the Demetra K show. And again, we thank you guys for coming on the show and giving us your input, because a lot of you guys give us ideas in regards to shows and news that we do not know about that's happening in your area. And like I said, as part of the new Black media, it's not just us, it's you guys too. So we're going to get into this story, and we want to thank you guys for executing your constitutional rights of freedom of the press.
All right. Yes, indeed. So I'm going to get to you guys' comments before I get started. Like I said, I got a few topics I want to talk about, and hopefully we get to all of them, all dealing with relationships, right? Including one crazy one that Donovan sent me. Let's see who is there. Antoine, how are you today? And Robin, what's going on? Thunder and the real LOC or Loke. I think we didn't never figure out how to say that, but how are you anyway? And one who cares, how are you? The Pioneer, what's going on? And Alex the Great, yes, indeed. How are you? Sleepy Joe, indeed. Let's see who else is here. And that's all I see for now. Yes, Thunder, he is playing to the crowd for elections coming up. Yes, indeed. And Robbie says, if Massa Biden say that everything is good, then it's good, right? No. And Alex said, I'm so proud of you both. The growth is amazing. Keep evolving. Oh, thank you. And we are proud of you. I see you, Alex. I see you. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the Pioneer says, relationships. Are Afro-Americans the only people who still argue with each other about the role of men and women in relationships at 60 and 70? We should have all of that understood by 25. Who you'd be surprised, brother.
Well, you know what? He makes a good point, but we are in an era of grandma can't watch the kids because she got to go hang out with her man or her boyfriend. Isn't there something wrong with that when you say grandma got a boyfriend? I'm not saying in all situations, but it seems like that is just like the norm, because usually grandma is with grandpa, not in today's world.
Well, maybe grandpa couldn't act right, and so grandma had to go get her a boyfriend.
Well, back in the day, grandma usually did that, and so did grandpa, by having the side chicks that knew their place and stayed side.
Oh, brother, we don't live in those times anymore, okay? Y'all want side chicks to be happy with some KFC and 2 minutes of fun, okay? Y'all not paying for apartments and Cadillacs and credit cards and all that. Y'all ain't keeping the side piece no more.
Well, Dr. Dre is. He just doesn't want to do for his daughter.
Well, you know what? We talked about that on Friday. We're not getting into this, okay? Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. So if you guys are in the Facebook watch parties or whatever they're having now, click on the link and we'd love to read your comments. All right, so here comes the first topic. Are you guys ready? Hey, Mary, how you doing? Here we go. Do you marry for love or financial security? You have to choose. Can't have both. Donovan, I'll give it to you first, and then you guys in the comments will read your comments and see what you say. So do you marry for love or financial security? You have to only pick one. You can't say, well, both.
Absolutely. I'm going to clarify my initial pick, though. Of course. No. I'm going to pick it. When we're young, we have our first crush and our first love, right? And usually that doesn't work out, right? So anything after that, for me, speaking for Donovan, I had my first love. But after that, I married for the financial security. That's what I took. And, the love will come later.
Okay, so do tell. Why did you pick that?
Well, because the thing is, you could love somebody to death. And not just our culture, in a lot of cultures here in America, you've got people, I love you. They love each other. They've been together since high school or since they met the club, and they just love each other, right? What is the number one thing of why couples do not stay together? The number one thing, it ain't the damn badass kids. It's the money. They do not have the money. That's what usually leads to couples that love each other breaking up because ends are not meeting. And that's why I say, and this has actually happened to me. I took financial security. The money, the love will come later. Let me get the money. If she ain't straight with herself, just like old girl, and Demetria will tell you, old girl, that was super fine, but her finances weren't straight, and I wasn't going to go down that path.
All right, now, so I'll read you guys' comments, and then I'll give you my opinion. And Alex said this is very common now. And Mary says, hey, family. And Pioneer says, Brother Donovan, you're absolutely correct about grandparents having boyfriends and girlfriends. Personally, I'm glad because I like older women, even into their 60s, but it often does look dysfunctional. Okay, I mean, I don't have a problem with grandma having a boyfriend. Why not? And One Who Cares says, I love, and it's been 26 years so far. So you're saying you married for love. Okay. And Tisha, how you doing? Says, I've been shunned for my opinion on this. Oh, Lord, well, I would love to hear it. Monet, what's going on? You say love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marrying, though, you've been married 26 or whatever for a long time. Congratulations on that. But I bet you through that journey, that's why it's called the beautiful struggle. You went through your ups and downs through it. You can't say it was all bliss going through. And you guys happened to knew how to manage the lows versus the highs. Because for some reason, a lot of these young people, when you take those vows, they're not listening to what the guy has said. For richer or poorer, good or bad. So if I'm Ike Turner, you ain't supposed to leave because you ain't getting your way. But oh well.
Ike Turner, huh? You had to bring him up. And the Pioneer, you say, I don't marry for either one. I felt early on that I probably wouldn't make a good husband in this society for a number of reasons. The truth is many people aren't marriage material in this society. And that is absolutely true. A lot of people don't even know what that means, right? And Tisha says, I tell my kids to marry with their heads and not their hearts. And Marshawn, how you doing? He says, just to get married one day will be blessed. Been single too long as say I am by myself 24 hours a day, especially at Disneyland, shaking my head. So just to meet the right person one day, I will be patient.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute. Wait a minute. My mom used to work at Disney. I rolled through Anaheim. I've never seen you.
yeah. Remember, she said she was going to go to Disneyland by herself.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, I am me. You don't have to go by yourself. I'll meet you over there, and I'll even let you supersize.
Now I told you to stop talking about that. What'd you say, Popeyes? You was gonna be able to take him to Popeyes? Brother. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people do consider being married a blessing. Some people don't. And one who cares says we are ride or die. See, that's the goal right there. Be ride or die. And I'm sure after 26 years of marriage, you got stories to tell, but yet here you are. And Thunder says financial security. If I fall, my wife is the backup. We are building a future, and that makes money. Love is nice, but you can't buy bread with love. Mm-hmm. Pioneer says, I think it's a fallacy to encourage everyone to get married. Some people aren't meant to be married, and it's a religious concept to assume everyone should. Some people should be single. And teacher says, and my daughters, I tell them, if you want a party, tell me, and I'll throw you a damn party, because marriage is not for the weak. Hey, Brother Todd, how you doing? He says, Minister Farrakhan once said that we have to take off the robes of hypocrisy. We judge others while we are a failure. Very true. And Robin says, financial security, love ain't never paid the bills. And I'm going to say this, because I'm like Donovan, I want to kind of say both, but because we have to say one or the other, I've always been one to get into relationships for love. And I still am. I would choose love over financial security, because I feel like if you love somebody enough, you will do what's necessary to make sure there is financial security. Because there's a lot of people who marry for money. I guess we can just break it down, for lack of better words, for money, but they don't love each other. It's a business deal, if you will. You know, and any of us have been into a meeting or business dealings. Sometimes it can be very cold and very austere and just, I could have had a V8 type of thing. But I know for me, in a marriage or any relationship, I want to love. I want to be in love. And I know, especially when you're together for a long time, the in love part kind of wanes a little bit. You have a lot of days where you can't stand the sight of that person. But then you think about, well, why did I fall in love with this person in the first place? And so I just feel like if you marry for love, you do what's necessary. I would hope. Now, I should back it up. Before you get married, look at that person. Are they responsible with money? I'm not saying get into a relationship with somebody you love who is irresponsible with money or, business dealings and all of that. If they're irresponsible, then you might want to wait for them to get it together, because just for sure that'll be a disaster, right? But I'm going to go with love first. So let me read the rest of the comments before I change topics. Let's see here. And one who cares says, you pick your mate just like you pick your fruit. Ripe. No, I'm just kidding. I pick my fruit kind of on the ripe side and kind of not. Like, I like it just in the middle. And Marshawn says, I did go and it was great. And I'm going back October 9th by myself. But God got me. See you there, Donovan. All right, put that on your calendar. October 9th.
Okay, no, that's perfect. That's perfect, because I'll be back from the DR by then. So yeah.
Okay, so October 9th. All right, and what else do we have here? And I hope you guys actually do meet up. That would be interesting. I hear what happened. And
maybe we don't.
Okay.
No, meaning I could probably get beat up or something. I don't know. No, I'm just saying.
Tisha says, girl, I married for love in my 20s and my car was repoed twice. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to do some vetting before we get there, right? Because I know when I was in my 20s, I had my car go to impound twice behind the Negro. I found myself at the sheriff's department crying, talking about I can't get back and forth to work. I didn't know he didn't have no license. I didn't know he was going to be drinking and driving in my car. So I trust me, but in my 50s, pain me almost to say that. In my 50s, obviously I see things a lot differently, but I would say this, I'm going to have it so to where I'm going to make sure my own car don't get repossessed. How about that?
Well, speaking for myself, I have to go by what the great Belle Biv DeVoe said in that great song, never trust a big butt and a smile. And that's what I went by, because guess what? A lot of brothers are going broke. That's why when I see these brothers have more than one chick, I'm like, how can you afford all that? One will break you. But to have 2, 3 on the side, I just can't see it. So finances to me is a big thing, because I want to be comfortable in my old age. And that's why I see a lot of my friends, these guys are struggling and they should be retired. That's because they were burning the candle at the front end, and now here comes the back end.
All right, so I'm looking at something to pick. I'm trying to mix it up here a little bit. So bear with me. I'm gonna get to the rest of these comments. Okay, it should be an interesting one. But let me read the comments before I get on to that. Where'd I go? Okay. And the Pioneer says most marriages in the society that stay together are based on financial security. One of the spouses need the other one, or both need each other to get the bills paid. That need keeps them together. Yeah, see, I don't want to be with somebody out of need. I mean, I want to be with somebody out of want. And then, the other stuff should take care of itself. But need is just like, it's like eating a mayonnaise sandwich. And Alex says, let love lead the way. If we're together, I'll hustle for myself and the one I love if I'm in a relationship. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. If you love somebody, you're going to do what's necessary. Do you watch somebody you love starve? You got some kids and they starving, and you maybe got short on money, or you going to sit there and say, well, they say you can go without food for like 2 weeks before you die. We just going to wait it out. Or do you do what you got to do? Do you do what's necessary?
Or you do like Mars Blackman. I'm going to clean 1 plate, 1 fork, 1 spoon.
And Antoine says, don't nobody want a broke partner or to be with somebody that can't accomplish anything. So I agree with you 100% on that. But then the other question is, where does the building stage come in? Do you build with somebody? Is that a certain age? Like, where does that come into play? You don't have to answer that. I'm just throwing that out there. And Thunder says, love can pay the bills, but there are laws against pimping and hoeing. I've been told in life.
But is that love?
I've been told in life, you either pimping or you're hoeing. Now, not literally, but in life. And so I just choose to be doing the pimping. I'm not talking about of another person. I'm just saying, pretty much kind of pulling my own little puppet strings, if that makes any sense. And Teacher says, now I keep this committed relationship and keep these finances separate. I may be a bit jaded these days. And yeah, a lot of people are. They've been burnt in relationships, to, as far as money and, all kind of stuff. And so I would just say this, in my 20s, Tisha, I had some pretty rough relationships. But one thing I always did was listen to my mama. And I never let anybody I was with dictate if I was going to eat, or have a roof over my head. God bless the child that's got his own. I mean, I've had boyfriends who was, doing drugs I didn't know about and just squandering money, just a lot, but it never cost me my livelihood. Thank God. Right.
Yeah. My mom always told me, me being a real man, finances, it all falls on me anyway. So it doesn't matter. So any money that she has, she can keep, because I don't give a damn, because, we're living off of my money. Now, after spending all my money, and she wants to go on vacation, well, then that's when, her funds are supposed to kick in and, and kind of help do that, because I've done everything that I can do and I'm pretty much done, but I'm still a man. But here's the thing, especially in the modern day, I don't understand this, where you got these milquetoast men running around. Why do you need to mingle your finances? So Tisha, I'm with you on that. In the modern day now, if you're on your own and you're a self-made woman, and you have your own account, then this guy, you meet with this guy, he has his account. There's no need to mix your money at that point in the modern day. That's why I had a friend of mine ask me, well, she won't take my name. Dude, that doesn't matter. Because ladies, I'm sorry. When you hyphenate your name off of a man's name, no, either keep your name or take his name or just keep yours. So keep your name. But I told them, make sure the kids have your name. Let her keep her name, if that's what she wants to do, but make sure the kids have your name. I mean, we're in a different situation. So, I mean,
why don't we just hyphenate our names together and you take my last name too, and then the kids have a, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I mean, that would be cool too. If I was a milk dud type dude.
All right, let me get to the rest of these comments before I pick up this topic here. And the Pioneer, I can read them on both because they all come up on here. So I'm not switching back and forth. They all come up on here. Thank God. YouTube can't see Facebook's comments and vice versa, but I can see them both, and Donovan can too. And Pamela, how you doing? He said, this comment is from my friend Daryl. He said that he wants sex 24/7. Well,
dreams do come true.
I would say this. I think a lot of people want that, but is that
it's not possible?
Right.
It's not possible.
You know, is it because 24/7 means all day, every day, nonstop, and I mean somebody gonna get tired,
or hurt,
or die. How did he die? On top of me. All right, for real though. Donovan says, never trust a big butt and a smile. You know what? Y'all fall for it every time. And Penelope, what's going on with you? She said, what about these men having these oops babies in their 40s and 50s? They're too old to be having their own grandkids. They will never be able to retire. Yeah, that's just some silliness right there. I don't know why anybody would do it, but hey.
Yeah, in the modern age, it's ridiculous. Now, back in our parents' day, you can get away with that. I have an uncle that's a year younger than me. I've got two uncles that are 3 days older than me. So, you know, now that's suicide. You might as well put a gun in your head.
Jeremy, what's going on with you? You says, greetings, Queen Demetra and King Donovan and the Black First family. You says, I'm working on the washing machine, so I'm listening. All right, now, handyman. And emulated origins, how you doing? Says definitely true. And Cap G Pro 1 says, love has never been detrimental to my finances. I know that's right.
Well, you're running into the right women because you got women now that will, you bring home that money and she's shoveling it out the back like Demetra's dad would say. Because think about it. I mean, I don't know if Phil Scott did this where the girl was getting nails at the nail shop and she went in there twice. They repaired it for it twice and she kept going back in. And we've been telling you since to stay out of there. But she's getting her nails done. She's getting her feet done. She paid $250 to get whatever done is done. And I'm not, and had the nerve to have a bonnet on her head. Had a bonnet on her head in public. Right. But what we're saying is nowadays things are way more expensive. So if that woman isn't working, if you got it like that, good for you. But I'm just telling you, it's expensive to be a woman in the modern age.
Yes, indeed. And Alex says both sides give their all 100%. Yes, indeed. Tonight, what's going on with you? And the Pioneer says, I support a society where women equal ability to make money and support themselves like men. However, to be a real one reason divorce and single rates are high is because they don't need to stay with men. That is a good point. And Thunder says, well, let's turn this around. How she treats her father is also how she would treat you. Hey, April, what's going on? And Cappy says, I know a young man who took his wife's last name. He was an immigrant. Well, you know why he did it. Stanley, how you doing? Says, my favorite duo. What's up, family? And Alex says, me and my auntie are the same age. We were raised as twins. Even our own families, I think we're brother and sister. Said, in fact, I'm 3 weeks older than my auntie. That is weird, but I have something like that in my family as well. And Stanley says, some truth to the statement. However, as men, we have to mature and realize mom isn't all women good or bad. All right, so here we go. Your relationship with your mom reflects how you treat women. Men, is there any truth to this? And women, is there any truth to that? Have you seen that pan out at all with a man that you dated and the relationship with his mom, whether it was good or bad? Have you seen that as a reflection, Donovan? What say you?
Well, no, not really. In my experience, no. My mom is a stone cold feminist. And yet I'm total opposite of that. So it just depends on, how you're raised and what environment you're in and what you're surrounded by. I just don't think there's any truth that you have some guys that treat women really well and yet their relationship with their mom totally sucks, and then you got the mom is, out there hoeing and all this other stuff. And these are the guys that come out there and be pimps. These little weak milk toast pimps. So, I mean, I just don't agree with that. I don't think there's any truth to that.
All right. Alex, you saying false. And Sunlight, how you doing? Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say from a woman's point of view, and you can look at it from the other way too, as far as a man. Whenever I see or hear of a man that speaks disparagingly of his mother, that's a red flag to me. Now, I'm not saying like, stuff like, well, growing up, my mom and I had issues. My mom, didn't treat me right and this, that, the other. But where there is disdain and hate and all of that for his mother, that's problematic for me. Not because maybe she's done something to earn that, but it's like, I just kind of think how, and because I'm gonna speak this way too, from a woman's point of view, they say that women often go for a man that is like her father, or she tries to anyway, right? So I would say that's true. And so I think from a man's point of view, if you treat your mom bad or you treat your mom good, I think that's kind of first where you learn how to treat women. Maybe, from your father and then in a relationship with your mother. And so, like I said, when I hear men having not issues with his mom, but just like the way he speaks about her, whether it's good or bad, that to me tells me where his head is at. That's just for me. So let me get to y'all comments. And April says, Dad wasn't in my upbringing. Granny raised me along with 5 other siblings. I'm often described as militant and mean. Well, is any of that true? Sunlight says, oh boy, I hate, I was late for this one. Now we really just got started. So you're right on time. For this one, he says, I'll pace myself. Yeah, you're right on time because we're switching topics. And Antoine says, I agree with Donovan. If you're looking for your mama, then yes. And emulated, you says, I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, we're doing well. And I'm a Wally. How you doing? He says, my younger brother takes advantage of our mother, but he's a sucker for love for his girlfriends. Okay. And emulator says, I agree with you, mama. Okay. And the one who cares says, environment and home life plays into this. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how I see it. I mean, it should be a red flag for anybody, a man or, if you're a man and the woman talks bad and horribly about her father, I mean, she has no respect for him. And some of it is probably earned. I'm not saying it's not. But, I mean, you would just kind of have to think, is she going to talk to me like that? Or is she going to treat me that way? I don't know. For me, fortunately, I've been with men. That's going to sound kind of crazy because I've been in some pretty horrible relationships. But I've been with men who, loved their mother. But then they kind of was like a mama's boy, too. You know what I mean? And so that kind of it presented some conflict in our relationship. And let's see here. And the Pioneer says, true, sometimes often a man who hates his mother will often have a hatred for women in general. But sometimes if he loves his mother too much, he'll mistreat women because they don't measure up to her. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's that whole mama's boy situation where, nobody makes, cornbread like my mama. And don't you even try. It's my mama biscuits. And Alex, you said,
wait. Wasn't that an episode of Martin? Mama Payne, the Mama Payne biscuits?
Yeah, he was telling Gita about his mama biscuits. And Alex says, well, more than one thing can be true. That is true. And Pioneer says, correction, I don't know if you can love your mother too much. Well, too much in relation to your woman, especially if you get married, your wife is supposed to come first, right? Yeah, and your mom should know that, because if she don't, then it's going to be problems, especially if, he's in love with his mama. He's going to have a hard time choosing, right? So, and Marshawn says, both of my parents brought me up with respect for others. So if any relationship, if I get in one, ever get in one, will be respectful. I treat people how I want to be treated. But if God shows me red flags, I will be gone. That's what they're for, to let you know danger.
And notice the red flags always comes after the romance.
Right. After you was horizontal, it's like, wait a minute. I didn't know you had 10 baby mamas. And Emulator says, I think the relationship you have with your parents definitely influences your character. Yes, it does. I mean, I 100% agree that it does. You can't be with somebody who talks horribly about their mom or dad and think that they're going to, treat you right, and and I feel that way about just from a woman's point of view, men who speak that way about their baby's mom. You know, if they got kids with another woman and he's running her low, that's scary to me. Because it's like, you know, while she probably is not perfect, I know you ain't either. So men who run down their exes or their baby mamas, that's kind of creepy to me. It just always has been. So anyway, and then Alex, you say, yes, the wife comes first. And Amy later says, I don't think a man should be so attached to his mother that he ignores his wife or neglects her and vice versa. Yeah, but
you know what? Excuse me. That's a good point, because down in the South, you see a lot of the, because people in the South don't really go outside of their community. They're comfortable around their families and that town. But you always see the son, like, I got to go cut my mom's grass. It's just like a normal thing where they have that obligation to make sure mama's taken care of, especially if dad isn't there. They don't come from big families. Because I hear that all the time, especially from my aunts who have a lot of sons. That boy don't come by. Well, is he obligated to come by? But, they have this perception of, hey, he's supposed to do this, when it's like, it's a new day. I mean, it is what it is.
Yes, indeed. So this is our next topic, but I'll finish reading the other ones. And let's see here. Sunlight says it's a catch-22. Just like if you are a child who was abused, you will replicate it or strive to be the exact opposite. It can go either way. Yeah, it could be. You could, as a man, you had a horrible relationship with your mom, do the opposite of that. But I just think if you don't solve those issues, eventually they manifest. They manifest.
So you're telling me this is why brothers get white girls? That what you're saying?
I got some whole other issues with that. But I'm saying if you don't resolve those issues with your mom or your dad, then they eventually they germinate. They manifest themselves into the relationship that you're in, right? I just tend to think that would be the case. And Thunder says if she never had a man that looked up to her or revered, respected, or took instructions from, can she really know how to treat a husband? No, I don't think so. I mean, that's something you learn to do. I would think, you would learn by watching your mom and your grandma or the women that are around you. You're going to either learn how to treat a man good or bad, I would think. And, I don't know how much that would play into it with their father, but definitely, your moms. And I always talk about that all the time, watching my mom and my grandmother, the way they were with men. Not that they have perfect relationships, but they were old school, So, all right. So here is the other topic. Everybody wants a good woman until that good woman requires you to be a good man. Now, again, this is true or false. This is not my opinion. This is stuff that I've seen on the internet. So again, everybody wants a good woman until that good woman requires you to be a good man. Donovan, what you got?
All I can say is true.
Say it's true. Okay. So I'll wait and see what everybody else says. Everybody wants a good woman until that good woman requires you to be a good man.
Yeah, because, most guys, not most guys, I can't say that, but a lot of guys out there are playing women and stuff, and they got that one that they love so much and stuff, but they love her so much they got 2 or 3 side chicks.
Well, is that really love?
Exactly.
You playing around? And okay, yeah, Thunder, we can flip that around too. So everybody wants a good man until that good man requires you to be a good woman. So yes.
Are you a high value woman? Are you a high value?
Let's not start that shit. Let's not start that shit today, okay? Oh, all right. So let's see what we got. Sunlight says a lot of women train their sons or male relatives to do what their husbands should be doing. Yes, there was a term that I saw on the internet called sunsbin. And yeah, I agree with that. My daughter has been using this term called emotional incest. Now that sounds pretty nasty, right? Emotional incest. But a lot of, let's say women do that to their sons. Oh, I need you, or you got to do this, or and so they treat them like their husband. So I agree that to me that does sound like emotional incest.
I agree to a point, because here's where I have to disagree. If that was the case, then how come these young men don't know how to cut grass? How come these young men don't know how to fix cars? How come these young men don't know how to do shit but play PlayStation and wait for mama to do their damn cooking and wash their damn funky, dirty, stanky ass drawers.
Well, mama needs to teach him how to wipe his ass too, if she washing those kind of clothes. But and I want to debunk this too. Not every man knows how to fix cars. You know, maybe he should learn.
But every man knows how to do something of substance to do that. And then even if the man that doesn't know how to do that, he's got the finances to pay somebody to do it.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so come on, let's get to these comments on this subject here. Everybody wants a good man or woman till that good man or woman requires you to be a good man or woman. There we flipped it around. Yes, one who cares says both ways. And Pioneer says to keep it real, some men don't want a woman at all because they're gay or asexual. So false. Laugh out loud. But the hetero, it depends. Some men look for a woman who will make him a better man.
Okay, I will agree with that because when I was a young man, you know, in my prime, looking good, going to the club, seeing Demetra up there with 2-3 Marines on her, and airmen and all that other goods, and her girlfriends doing their thing with her Timbs on. There was a woman, and I still credit her today, and I have her picture up with my girlfriend. She was about 4 or 5 years older than me. She was the one that told me, Donovan, you're cute and all, but you need to go to school and do this. She was telling me to be a lawyer, telling me, you know, she pushed me to do what I needed to do. And I finally listened to her because my nose was wide open, by the way, at the time. And I listened to her and she put me on the path to where I'm at today. And I give her all of the credit, all of the credit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think you should be with somebody who is helping you be better. And then you should be pouring into that person as well. This shouldn't be a one-sided thing to where, because, you know, this is where the old wives' tale come in. And y'all know there's a lot of them done that. Child, don't you never buy a man a pair of shoes because he going to use those shoes to walk out of your life. And my daughter's grandma said, I would never buy a man a Pepsi Cola. You know, so basically the premise to that was, you build a man up and then he run off with all those new things you gave him or not even gave him but taught him and, you know, poured into him. He go off and be with old Susie after you know, he was broke, busted, dusted, and disgusted. Now he's somebody and now he want to run off and be with old girl. You know, and in my case, they always want to run back too. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, let's get back to these comments. And Pamela says, when two disabled people get married, we get penalized by Social Security cuts disabled people's SSI benefits. Well, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I mean, shoot. I mean, because I know SSI is not a lot as it is, but to cut it, okay. The Pioneer says, I believe a man can really love his main woman and have side chicks. The side chicks are usually just physical expressions and has less to do with love and deep emotional attachment.
I agree, Pioneer. Man, we're on a psychic connection over here because that's exactly right, brother. That's exactly right.
I'm gonna move past that one for now. And Alex says, I learned that what not to do. My boss met my mother and gave praise to me, saying that she raised an amazing man. She responded by saying that he never had a great example in his life. So she said, I became a great man without her help. I just strive to be better than him. So when you say him, are you saying your father? Maybe I'm confused, but indeed you are great. And I love the fact that you call yourself Alex the Great because you will become what you call yourself and what you answer to. So I love that. And Robin says, true, Donovan. And April says they were quiet and discreet about their marriage. These women were in the church and in the community. Ooh, Lord have mercy. And Alex says, though my biological father is a very good man, but she's not counting him because I met him later in life. Okay, so you were talking about him. Okay. Theo, what's going on with you? Say, what's on your mind, brother? And Pam, you say, we disabled people are the only people that are benefits that are cut when we get married.
No, actually, that's not true, Pam. That this is another reason why our senior people do not get married, because when they get married and they're collecting Social Security, that gets cut because they're making, you know, they get penalized almost the same as what disabled people get penalized as well. So that's why you don't see a lot of older people even though they live together or, you know, whatever, they don't really get married because they will get penalized in their Social Security.
Or if you're Dr. Dre's wife, she getting $3 million a year. She probably ain't ever gonna get married because she getting that until she get married. So, let's see. Oops, don't want to miss anybody's comments. And Amy Lady says reciprocity matters. Yes, indeed, it's a give and take. And Sunlight says, yes, you have a point, Donovan. That's a generational shift that came about when women started having the money to pay for said services. Stanley. And if I didn't already say hello to you, you say, my woman's making me better is how I fell in love with her. I see she believes in me. So you know what? And that's great. And that's great that you appreciate that. But a lot of men don't. Some men, I don't want to say a lot.
Well, you know what?
Don't.
Yeah. You know what, Stanley, though? I applaud you for saying that because a lot of men will not admit behind all of a man's greatness is always a strong Black woman.
Come on, say it again for the ones that's deaf in the back.
Always a strong Black woman behind a Black man's success.
Come on. And Amy Lady says one-sided relationships are terrible. Yes, they are. They're awful. You know, it's me. I. You know, I'm talking about those relationships where the person don't even say, hey, how you doing today? You know, it is all about them. Yeah, those are horrible. And Thunder says, did you have a man or a pet? Me? I mean, he was a dog for sure. But I didn't treat him like that. Alex says, Donovan, I agree with you, but that good was always in you. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit or a pat on the back. And the Pioneer says, the problem with Black men living in society is it was designed for white men and their sexual desires, not ours in our culture. Men had multiple women, and women not only accepted it, but understood it. Shit.
Still in Africa to this very day, they still have monogamous relationships. Zuma, the ex-president of South Africa, he's like on his 4th or 5th wife.
We talking about Africa? We in America?
We need to change the laws, damn it.
In Africa,
no,
Zuma, wait, hold on, brother. Okay. Zuma could afford all those women as is. Over here, y'all can't afford the one you got and trying to get 5 more.
Well, how about this? What's the difference of all of that? I mean, a lot of people, excuse my language, ladies, a lot of y'all ladies are sharing community dick in the community. The same dude's getting all the girls pregnant. So what's the difference?
Okay, if I don't know about it, that's a different story. Now, if I know about it, yeah, I might as well be a sister wife, right? But don't make me no sister wife. And I done told you that I don't want to be no sister wife, okay? Because I do watch a lot of Halloween. Michael Myers is, you know, one of my favorite characters, and I've learned a lot of things from him. So don't force me to be no sister wife. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And Sunlight, let me see if I just give you my, you say, that's exactly why self-driven men get the cream of the crop. Any self-motivated person is rare. Hey, Ashanti, how you doing? Dennis, what's going on with you? And Emmy later says, I agree, Mama. We have to love, pour into each other. It balances out the relationship. Yeah, we're supposed to be given to each other. It's not supposed to be, well, I'm the queen of Sheba, more grapes. You know, it's supposed to be, well, hey, what can I do for you today? I love you. Are you feeling all right? Is there anything I can do for you? You know, I know you said you wanted to go do A, B, C, and D. How can I support you in those efforts? You know what I mean? It's a give and take. And Stanley, you say 1,000. And Moni, what's going on with you? You say, happy birthday to me. Glad that I'm at the laundromat. Oh, yeah, Sunday must be your laundry day. So as usual, doing laundry, looking much Detroit love, Demetri and Donovan. I would love for you to speak on eviction moratorium. Maybe we'll get to that at the end. You also say, I think it's a situation to where as if a woman has herself together, number one, and she wants a man to meet her on equals, she's frowned upon when she has gotten herself a stable education, education, job, and crib. I think that has a lot to do with if she has all those things and then how she sees her man. If you have all those things as a woman and you look down on your man because you have all those things, and yeah, that's kind of problematic. You
Yeah,
know,
I have a lot of female friends, and they say, Donovan, why can't I get a man? Why can't I get a man? Well, golly, if you got the title of doctor and he hasn't even got his damn GED, that's very intimidating to a lot of dudes. I know y'all want that thug love and stuff like that, but seriously, a lot of you sisters, you guys overachieve to where you want a certain guy, but it's intimidating. Now, a person like me, I wouldn't give a damn because I know I'm coming with what I am. You got to accept me for, what I am. And I don't give a damn. And I happen to know there's too many damn beautiful black women out there for me to be sitting here crying over just one. So when I talk to, my sisters and stuff, I try to tell y'all, I'm not saying don't achieve, but you got to realize that is very intimidating to a guy that's coming out of prison, or, you know what I mean? Or let's say he's just a regular guy and he's still working. He's a manager at a plant or something like that. And he isn't where you're at. You got your house, you got your car. He's still living in an apartment. It is intimidating. And Demetri, that some we'll go out somewhere and these women won't even get approached by some dudes because, of their status.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's, like I said, you looking down on that man because of that, then you don't get in a relationship with him. And April wants to know, Donovan, are you pro polygamy?
If you can afford it, yes. Yes, if you can afford it. And that makes sense. And this is why I think that's a good rule, and that's a Islamic rule as well. You can only have as many women as you can afford, period. And so if you're in the streets and broke, guess how many women you gonna get? Possibly none.
Yes, indeed. And Robert says, exactly, that's Africa, not here. And Thunder says, most men, almost anything they do is for a woman. Car, home, finances, either he does this for women or he does it for himself in order to get the women. That is true. And Alex says, man, look, it's hard to please one woman. Multiple? Hell no. That dude in Africa probably have a head full of gray hair or he's bald.
Actually, he is bald and he's in jail right now, right. But he's worth $15 billion because he keeps stealing the money.
Right. And the Pioneer says, Brother Donovan is correct. The desire to impress women is usually the main drive behind a man's success. He buys houses, nice cars, and gets wealth, all to impress women or impress his favorite woman. Yeah, I would say that is true. And Marshawn, you say, Miss D and Don laugh out loud. I know we crazy. And Marty says, I don't see nothing wrong with a woman who first financially has herself together, that she's not dependent on a man one way or another to do for herself. Let's be clear at the end of the day. Now, I don't see anything wrong with that, but, something wrong with you talking about I'm strong, independent. I don't need no man. It's like, well, why you got one? Why you with one if you don't need no man? And
then what about those dudes when the mad day comes and the chick throws him out? He ain't got nowhere to go. Demetri, do I not always preach to these young dudes? Do not move in with these women. Do not move in with these women. Not because they're bad people or whatever. Mad day is going to come. How many dudes did I have up in my house because their marriages and relationships didn't work out? Two. They had nowhere to go, and these guys had jobs and all that other stuff. But, things didn't work out. Now, where you going? Now you got a functioning man out on the street homeless because no. Do not move in with these women. Women need to move in with the man. And of course, you women, I'm not saying you can't have your own. What I'm saying is, like my mother told me, you got to be a damn fool of a man to not think that woman isn't doing mafioso shit to you and cutting off the top.
All right. So let me get to the rest of these comments on this one, and then we'll get to this topic that I just put up. Like I said, this is stuff that I've seen trending on the internet. And April says she wants a pilot. Well, I happen to know one. And Morning says, happy Sunday, Pioneer. Much Detroit love to you, too.
I will be flying to Las Vegas right after this show, by the way, and back. So.
Okay. And the Pioneer says, sis, if it means anything to you, I support the right of a woman to have multiple husbands if she chooses, laugh out loud. But women tend to be monogamous by nature, whereas most men are polygamous by nature. I just say this. I can be polygamous if I need to be. But I want to have several husbands or dudes. Okay, I'm tired of being in the other way around. I want to be where I have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Look, I'm not joking. A lot of my female friends, they have dudes in different places, and I'm not looking down on them, but fellas, when they say I got a friend, I'm not saying that they're doing anything, but
we gonna get into that too. Brother. Hold your horses. We gonna get into that. All right. And so Sunlight says that's where the problem comes in, Donovan. When the women outnumber the men, it gives men more leverage to be choosy, for a lack of better words. It sucks on our end.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It doesn't have to, though.
Yeah, but California, it's 7-1 here, and it's always been that way. And that's not just black women, that's just the number is just 7-1, period.
Yes, indeed. And let's see here. And Tisha says, I'm back. I had a phone call. Well, we're glad you are back. And April says, no such thing as gender roles when it comes time to clean up. If your husband works, it's always your turn to toss the trash. All right, so here we go. That brings us to our next thing I saw trending on the internet. A man's not supposed to cook, wash dishes, or wash his clothes if he got a woman. Donovan, what say you?
False.
Why?
I say it's false because we're in a different era of the world where, you got these smart machines and stuff like that, these really high-tech machines and technology. So there's no excuse for a man not to do that. And again, not in my situation, but in the situation of today, you've got two people working, bringing home almost $300,000 a year. So somebody's got to do all that, and she's not always going to be home at the same time he's going to be home. So they've got to both take on those roles to complement each other. So I'm going to say false. All
right. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Well, a man is not supposed to cook, wash dishes, or wash his clothes if he got a woman. I'd like to say this. Let me read this again. Y'all listen to this very carefully. A man's not supposed to cook, wash dishes, or wash his clothes if he got a woman that he is taking care of financially, physically, mentally. She ain't got to go outside the house and earn no money. That she's taken care of, right? Because a lot of times we leave off that part. A lot of times we think a man ain't supposed to do that if he got a woman that also was working and and bringing home the bacon and all of that. But I also take exception with the word supposed. Again, if I'm a woman and I'm staying home and I don't have to earn no money, and my man is making sure everything is taken care of, yeah, I'm supposed to do those things. I would throw in the word suppose, right?
Yeah, and let me correct you. You are earning money by keeping that household. Any man that doesn't give a woman a stipend, because that is a very hard-ass job. So if you just, oh, baby, just pay the bills and I'm just going to give you enough just to put lipstick on your lips. No, you got to give her a stipend so she can go out and get her nails done and look a certain way that you want her to look. So you earn that money.
Yeah. So, yeah, suppose is a strong word for a man who expects me to work too. Now, I'm going to do those things because I want to do those things, but as far as, because suppose almost sounds like I'm a slave or something. Yes, mister. All right. So let's see here. Let me get to these comments. And Sharon says, who not supposed to? And I guess, a man. Pioneer says, actually, polygamy work out for the better women, because if a man can only have one wife and the men are all taken, the broke women who need men are just out of luck and have to do without.
Well, they're already doing that because, like I said, they're dating each other now. So there it is.
And Alex says, there are no gender roles. We are both cooking, hustle, wash, clean, etc. One thing my mother told me growing up was that I shouldn't rely on any woman to cook or clean. And she said, most can't cook or clean anyway. I was 14 when she told me that. Well, damn, yeah. I would say, I don't know about most, but there's a lot of women in your age bracket there that's like, boo, I could make a strong ramen noodle.
Yeah, ramen noodle. They want to cut hot dogs in it and stuff. But no, Alex, actually, your mother taught you the old school way, because my mom taught me the exact same thing. The only thing I need a woman for, and excuse me, ladies, I'm trying to be real about it, is for relations, and that's it. I can do everything else. I can rebuild a house, do a car, whatever I need to do. All I need a woman for is the companionship and the French benefits. You know what I mean?
I hear you, brother. Marshawn says, I feel the housework needs to be 50-50. My friend is dealing with this problem now. I hope I have a guy that helps me. I am not best with cooking, but I am okay. Laugh out loud. And I love Saturday Love song. Yeah. Sherelle.
Who was that produced by the way? Who was it produced by?
Jimmy Jam and them.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They were then known, and they're still kind of secretly known as The Secrets.
Yeah. And Andrew Alex O'Neal. I was like Alexander O'Neal. I was like his.
Yeah. Alexander O'Neal, the SOS band. They all came around that time. Taboo was the record label.
Yes. And let's see. Monet says men can cook, clean, wash dishes, clothes. If he's with me, he better be helping out. Sharon says in there, Demetra, and trying to stay. Okay. And then Marshawn says on my so-called channel, I call my views Saturday Love. Okay, viewer Saturday Love. We got to find your channel.
Yeah, send us the link. I would love to join the channel and support you like you support us. I think that'd be great.
Absolutely. And Robin says if he's not working, then he needs to cook, clean the house, wash dishes and the clothes, and anything that needs to be done around the house. Ooh, boy.
Yes, baby. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
If he's not working. If he ain't working, he better have him some money somewhere.
See, and that's another thing. I've never heard of a man that believes he's not working. I'm gonna go do something. I might not be working in like getting a check from a corporation or a job, whatever, but I'm gonna be on my hustle. So
that's right. And Pioneer says, I believe whoever is best at cooking and washing should be doing it, just like whoever is best at making the money should be the one doing it. Both men and women should learn these skills anyway. And Emulated, you say, I think both of y'all had good points. Okay. And tonight it says, Demetra and Donovan, in today's world, it's 50-50, but I love having my own and I work hard for it. Honestly, Black women are excelling far more than Black men. Just saying. You throwing rocks in the comments section.
No, absolutely. She's absolutely right. And you guys are so successful and so smart. You guys are up to the yin yang in student debt, and you guys are the main ones crying about Joe Biden getting rid of it. Got these degrees you can't do nothing with. You can't build nothing with them. I'm not saying that to be disparaging. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to have these degrees and go into that kind of debt when there's nothing that you're going to gain. I mean, Demetra, you're here in California. How are you going to want a person to have a master's degree and you paying $14 an hour?
Yeah, that's a rough one. All right, let's see here. And Sharon says cutting grass, growing everything to cook and wash dishes, clean, all man, no. And then Tisha says, Lord, all these old traditional demands with modern mentality in some cases.
Totally confusing. You're right.
Yes. And April says, you can't fight love. And the Pioneer says, most Black men I know are good cooks. Laugh out loud. They learn from their mothers. I found out that most Latino, Arab, and Italian men can cook also and often do the cooking in their families. It's not just us. That is true. Yeah, I would say that's true for a lot of like Italian men. They know how to like really cook, right? Thunder says it's not just him and his wife then. Yes, but if kids are involved, it would be nice for him to cook and clean, to treat her now and again. Yes, indeed. And April says if he is injured and not working, then what? Oh, that's a different story, right?
Yeah, if he's injured and not working, of course, he's going to have that very, very supportive Black woman that's going to make sure he gets down to SSI and get that money, for whatever he's doing. And if he's a veteran, she's going to be the power to make sure that mug starts that paperwork to get that big check whenever it does come from the injuries he sustained. So, again, behind every successful Black man, there is a beautiful Black woman that put him there.
Hallelujah. And Thunder says he will still cut grass and home repairs. Okay. And Amanda says at some time you have to look at the fact that it's not about turning your nose up at anybody. It's about loving yourself. That will not accept for less. Let's be clear, Demetra. Some men dog women. Oh yeah, I know that for sure. And One Who Cares says we split almost everything, but we do have our own funds. Yeah, that's how I think it should be, especially if you're both working. And Sharon says, correction, Donovan, we need to work together.
Oh, absolutely. Wait, let me just address Moni's question. See, I like what you said right there. Yes, men do dog women. how come you guys never bring up that when these guys are in love with you and then we find out that the baby's for somebody else? You guys never bring that up. Most men don't start out being dogs. Most men are either hurt because they were in love with this chick that dogged him. I'm not saying in all, in all cases, but it's on both sides.
But can I ask y'all a question? Y'all ain't gotta answer this. So y'all get hurt by a woman that dogs you, cheated on you, and all of that. Why do y'all turn around and do it to a woman who ain't did nothing but be nice to you? Just think about it. You ain't gotta answer it. But why is that? Why do you turn around and do that to a woman who's done nothing but love and take care of you and want the best for you? Who's never cheated on you or any of that kind of stuff? I'm just asking, okay? You ain't got the answer. And Martin says, for example, when a woman has her own place to stay, regardless of what city or state, pretty much an area, and she's not asking or looking for anything from a man other than his honesty and his respect. And Thunder says, if he's working and taking care of all of the financial, it says Monday through Friday, I think you meant. And then, hey, honeydew, how you doing? Sharon says, thank America for that. And Jeffrey, what's going on? He says, she's right. They want us to pay the bills right. Okay. And Anais, how you doing? And Sunlight says, agreed. I absolutely despise the fact that I went to college. Big mistake. Well, it depends on what you do with it, right? And emulated, you say, I would never let my woman cut the grass or anything of that nature. Let me tell you a really quick story, really quick. I had a man one time, I kept telling him, can you please cut the grass? Can you please cut the grass? Please cut the grass. 2 weeks went by. I didn't know how to cut the grass. So I taught myself how to cut the grass. And then I told him, you know what? What I need you for now? You made a mistake, buddy. I know how to cut the grass now. I know how to do the yard. So what do I need you for?
The loving.
At that point, it was like, I could have to be 8. And let's see here. Anna says, my dad taught me how to cook. And my dad knows how to cook as well. My mom and my dad, both cook. My mom did most of the cooking, though, because my mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, Demetra's dad, he could turn a bean pie into all kinds of flavors.
Bean soup and all of that. He probably making some bean soup right now. And Marshawn says, not professional like y'all channel. Believe me, laugh out loud. No, we checking you out. We gonna come over.
Yes, and that means you're part of the new black media too. So any way you get that message out, you get it out there.
And I started off on my phone too. So trust me, and we all a work in progress. And he says it's all done on my phone, but just type in Disney Diva, okay? And you will see me. It's not a lot of followers. It's a lot of haters on YouTube too. Trust me, I know. But if y'all can all go over to Disney Diva's channel and subscribe, that would be totally dope.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Okay.
And I know about them haters too, but what can you do, right? And Sharon says, my man don't cook, but learning. Okay. And then Moni says, when a woman has her own and doing for herself, he becomes intimidated. Not all, but a vast majority. Then they want to jump on you and beat you and no thank you and keep you. That God is good to me. Oh, Lord, we don't want that to happen to nobody. Robin says, my last relationship, I worked 12 to 14 hours a day. My ex was not working. He thought I was going to come home, cook, clean, etc. I set him straight quick. He was home all day. He can do all of that. Okay. And Alex says, women are more successful than us. Where'd he go? More successful than us. I take no offense. Donovan is right to a degree. You're both right, but there shouldn't be a more successful. We're either successful or we aren't. There you go. It's a we thing. And
said, real quick. I just went to her YouTube page. Ooh, she's cute. Seeing it.
Disney Diva, y'all go check her out and subscribe, please.
I just subscribed and I will be inboxing you. No.
Okay. And Aisha says, I'm a beautiful black woman. I know that's right. What's happening, Frank? And Tanaya says, Donovan, very true. And the Pioneer says, I can't believe our hour just passed, Queen. You and the King are going to have to increase your time to 3 hours or do this 5 days a week. Laugh out loud.
Okay, wait. I got something to say to that. Now, we know, Pioneer, I love you to death. Love all you guys to death. And we love having fun here. I love, talking with you guys. I look forward to Sundays. Time is money, right? Time is money. If you guys subscribe and do that, we will go ahead and add some more time onto it. There's no reason why we shouldn't if people subscribe to the channel and get it going. I'm speaking for Demetra now, so I just.
You make a good point, but we would love to be on here more. If that makes any sense. And Aisha says, love yourself. And let's see here. I'm trying to let me actually share this really quick. Okay, I did one for the ladies. Let's do one, or for the men, I guess, or about the men. Let's do one about the women. Here we go. But we won't get to it just yet. I'm just putting it up there for the sake of time, so y'all know we're gonna be talking about something else. All right, and so let's see. Moving on to the rest of these comments. Teacher says, and Morning says, take for example, you got some men that if a woman likes expensive champagne like Dom Perignon, some men that's into money don't mind with it. Some men will find fault with it and say, I let God lead path. Are you drinking some Dom Perignon right now? I'm just kidding. And tonight says, Demetri, great point. And he says, think and move, sunlight. I will. And Thunder says, if he's paying for all of it and working 8 to 12 hours a day, and yes, on the weekend, he will take care of her on the weekend. Yeah, I like that. Money says, Demetri, I like certain types of men, from certain complexions to certain heights, certain financial positions. And if that makes me a fast catch or well, but I never have a problem meeting no one. Me either. So I understand. And Honeydew says, it's still a man's world. That's what they tell us. And Alex says, I've never dogged anyone. I'm the big bad wolf. Treat people how you want to be treated. There you go. I 100% agree with that. And Sharon says, I'll never take it out on another man. The relationship is new, called a new start with someone else different. Yeah, I agree. Like leave the baggage in the past, right? But sometimes, people make you pick those bags up like, wait a minute, damn it. But yeah, you should leave those in the past. April says, you know what you need them for. We need our men. Yeah, I need my man. Shoot. Teacher says, man, some of these best cooks are the best cooks are men. Yeah, my daughter's father is a chef. I never cooked when we were together. And thank God for him, because if I had got a hold of a pot of grits, I'd be talking.
And he also hid the knives, right? He hid the knives.
You better be happy I didn't do no cooking in that relationship. Okay, let's see here. And Pioneer says, sis, so many men who dog, quote unquote, women don't do it because it happened to them. That's an excuse many use. The fact is most men do it for the same reason most people do what they do, because they can. Oh, come on now with the truth. Yes, Disney Diva. Check her out. Subscribe, please, please. And Sharon says, Donovan, what's love got to do with it? Don't need loving, being lazy on the job. You know what I'm saying? How you want some loving and you ain't? We can do a whole show on that. And Marshawn says you have to type in the number sign, then Disney Diva. So hashtag Disney Diva. And let me put that up there.
I just put in Disney Diva and I found it.
Okay. So go subscribe, everybody. Let's support each other. And Mona says to me.
Yeah, wait, real quick. And Marshawn, all that pink in your apartment, very, very nice touch. Look like you got a little decorator's touch there. So I like that. It's pretty nice.
I have to go check her out. Martin says, Demetri, when I say it's good for a woman to have her own, it's just to the bare minimum and having her own crib. That's so nobody can see her outdoors and take advantage of her. Okay.
Absolutely. But let me ask you this, ladies. If you guys doing everything, for yourself and all that other stuff, what do you need us for?
This is kind of a family-oriented show, so we really can't talk like that on here. And you shy, Marshawn. How so? How you shy on YouTube? You're welcome, by the way. And I'm going to get to some of these other comments too, Moni. I'm going to get to some of yours toward the end. I see you, though. And Donovan, you said would be an ideal sexy brown sugar. Just waiting for a real cold. Este Boleno with the senior. Offering bed today, Donovan. Oh, bed. Oh, you meant bed, not bed, sister. Bed today.
Wait. It wasn't bed?
No, it wasn't. She meant bed.
Yeah, look, I was about to reserve that plane.
$3,000. Ooh, that's where the bed is, ladies. And Marshawn says, Don, I see you. But as stated, is not best. I repeat myself and talk fast. I get shy, but at the end of the day, I just do me. But thank you guys for truly appreciate it. Yeah, that's all you can be is you.
Well, Marshawn, here's the deal. Do you realize, Demetri, do you see how knowledgeable she is and how she talks and her mannerisms and stuff? Who do you think taught her all that? It was me. I discovered her. I said, she's doing all that other stuff. I said, you need to get out and do this and do this and do that. I learned a few things from her, but everything she knows, I taught her. But no, that's the good thing about it. Being on YouTube, it will get you out of your shyness, because technically I'm not shy. I'm humbuggish. So I kind of stay to myself, whatever, but YouTube got me to be more personable and stuff like that. And then, the more you do it, the better you're going to be. And you're just going to be a more, outgoing person, but you got to be consistent in what you do. That's why I tell people, they always ask Demetra and I, why, how do you get your show going and going? When we started, Demetra, how many people laughed at me when I started my show?
Quite a bit.
Nobody was watching, 0. It was, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And I just kept going and kept going. And now everybody knows, at least in my area, politics happen. If this guy, stay off of this guy's radar, whatever you do, run a clean campaign and he won't say nothing about you. But yeah, you just got to be consistent.
Yes, indeed. And I actually, that's what I do for a living. I'm in public relations. And so I actually help people to develop a message and teach them how to deliver it to the right audience. So that includes YouTube and just podcasts, because nowadays, especially with this pandemic still going on, a lot of people are doing things from their home, shows and things like that. So I always say you got to be fascinating. If you're not fascinating, I'm not saying that about you, Marsha. I'm saying in general, if you're not fascinating, and people won't watch, they won't tune in. And so also tell people, listen to talk radio. I listen to NPR a lot. Also, all I listen to when I'm in the car. And so I like to pick up on different ways of speaking and getting information out. And so you got to listen to who, not necessarily who you want to be, but get involved into the things that you want to do. Watch other YouTube channels and things like that that help you be better at speaking, if that makes sense.
And actually, I'm more of a podcast person. That was my bread and butter, is podcasting. I just did video casting because we can do both at the same time, and that's how we got into the video casting and all that other stuff. But yeah, I mean, so check out some podcasting too, and Podbean, 45 minutes for free. You can do that if that's more of your thing. And with everybody sitting in traffic, hey, it's a great platform to get on.
And then more importantly, he has a face for radio. So, I mean, that's kind of why he got in the podcast. And okay, so let's transition here. And April says, I've failed at marriage. I haven't had a clue what a man gets out of marriage. I hope love at best, friend, and peace of mind. All right, so the next topic, so let me actually move.
I'm going to have to come and visit April.
Hold on a second. I just wanted to move that. All right, so as y'all see here, it says, ladies, what does a man get out of marriage? Okay, what does a man get out of marriage? And so you guys, I'm sure you answered that, so I'm going to read these comments. Sarah says, a man willing to learn it, unstressed, we are good to go.
Good to go.
Good to go. Okay, got it. Good to go. And let's see. And teacher says, me too. But Moni says, but to be honest, to meet you, I've been known to have several different men as just friends along. Some I have just for companionship, and some I have just for the ambiance. I think meant of a man doesn't have sex, period. Okay. Marshawn says, thank you. Neighborhood sucks, laugh out loud, and the actual apartment itself, laugh out loud, but I am blessed. Yes, indeed.
See, now look, Marshawn is saying that, but like she's a Disneyland person, right? She's probably right here in Los Angeles. She probably lives in Orange County, very expensive area, and that means she's got money.
Tisha says, I guess it depends on the type of woman he marries. He can get a whole lot of debt and headache, or he can get love, support, peace, and hopefully financial growth and security. Two is supposed to be better than one. Okay. And the Pioneer says, I hear you 100%, Donovan. You mentioned money, and Demetra got a little squeamish because she knows how people are, laugh out loud. But facts are, y'all should be getting paid for the time y'all spend with us. Well, I mean, we were doing this for free for so long, and kind of sort of still are. I know we're starting to get members and people do donate to the Cash app and stuff like that, and we appreciate it. But there is a cost that goes out. I do pay people to help me with things, for the show, and StreamYard is not free. So there is some cost to it, right? So, but anything that you guys donate is much appreciated. So, but yeah, I mean, time is money. And so the time that we do take away from the things that we do to earn money, to do shows, yeah, it does kind of take away from, but we love it. So anyway, back to making me feel awkward. Alex says, look at how far you both have come. Yes, indeed. If you just keep going, you'll eventually be successful. Just don't quit, right? And April says, unity is required. Yes, indeed. And Moni says, the devil is alive when you got your own money. You don't need his. I'm not watching somebody's draws. And you ain't making six figures and you ain't my husband. Let's be clear, Demetria. What's your comment? I mean, there's a lot of men who aren't making six figures. Somebody got to do the laundry, whether it's you or him. He got to wash your dirty drawers, or you gonna wash his. So I mean, or they just sit there and stand up in the corner of the room. Let me stop being silly.
No, they'll stand up because they're so extra starchy.
I'm just saying. And Robin says that's right. And Thunder says using boxing terms, he gets a corner. Man, he goes out, gets busted up. He comes back to his corner. She patches him up, gives him a pep talk, and sends him out again. Okay, that's what he gets out of marriage. And Marshawn, you say you're taking notes. And then Moni says there's nothing wrong with keeping a clean house. That should go without saying. There's nothing wrong with making sure his clothes wash and iron. I'm all for that beyond 100. But that's not the average. Okay. And Anais says, my voice is amazing, so I should start a podcast on Podbean. Yes, go for it. And send us the link. And Sharon says, Donovan, no one hit me. No YouTube, Instagram, not Facebook. Drop your link. Yeah, put it in the comment section, Donovan, so I can put it up. And Omi Siam, how you doing? You say, is this a trick question? My uncle is 63 and single. He told me he doesn't want a home by himself. He's seeking a partner. Yeah, I would think once you get up in age, it's like, okay, I've been lonely for a minute. Now I need me a boo thing up in here, right? And one who cares says a soulmate, honesty. Okay. And I'm going to go past some of these other comments. And Marshawn says, no, I wish I lived in OC. Laugh out loud. My neck of the woods is bad, shaking my head, but I'm blessed.
No. If you live anywhere in the LA area, you're sitting on $1 million property. Did you hear about those people in, is it Glendale? Glendale and Carson, what do you call those things? Those homes? Those home communities, they're like, they're almost like trailer, the trailer park.
Mobile homes?
Yeah, the trailer park communities. They're making those people get rid of those communities because it's sitting on a major property. So the people want to get rid of the trailer parks and put in those expensive apartments. So wherever you're at in LA, I don't care if you're in Compton and wherever, that is still $1 million ground you are standing on.
Yes, indeed. And one who cares, you say what he puts into it, that's what he getting out of it. All right, the Pioneer says, brother, that dog you're holding up literally looks bigger than you. It looks that way. Belle she's what, medium-sized dog?
Yeah, she's about 50 pounds. Yeah.
And Robin says, Demetria, I first heard of you on Phil's show. That's how I started watching you and Donovan. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of you are here from the African Diaspora News Channel. And if you have not heard of the African Diaspora News Channel, please go over there and subscribe. There is a lot of great information over there. I promise you. And Honeydew says, I think a man gets a partner that he can be righteous with, and all of that righteousness includes. All right. And Sharon says, yes, just crazy. And Sunlight says, what a man gets out of marriage. Me. Okay. Frank says, I'm in the OC. Whack. And let's see here. And Mona says, if a man is with any woman that cannot keep a house fully clean without hiring someone, he don't need to be with her. If a man deals with a woman that don't know how to cook, he should not be with her. Okay. Frank says, trying to stay busy with my page. You? What's going on with your page? Do tell. And Sunlight says RV camp. So, but he was talking about mobile homes, I think. And Anais says, this is random, but have you met Wangel Zelalim? No, I haven't. I met her on StreamYard, but not like been over there because she's in Ethiopia, if I'm not mistaken. But I have had a conversation with her via StreamYard because we're all over. Very, very nice woman. And she's also on the African Diaspora News Channel. Very insightful, informational, and all of that. And beautiful. And Sharon says, yes, and changing fast. And April says the immigrants are coming. Al-Qaeda has entered the country. Thanks, Joe Biden. Oh, Lord. And Marshawn says live in affordable living housing inside and outside is nasty. But my actual apartment, I take your word, Donovan. And Sharon says Phil Scott off the chain. Yes, indeed. He be having me cracking up, especially on his Philip Scott channel, the Philip Scott show. Oh, my God, I'll be busting up.
Yeah, and you guys check out his podcast. His podcast, he be going in on that podcast. It's awesome.
Podcast is good too. So he's doing a lot of great things. And the app as well. Check out the African Diaspora News Channel app. And Marshawn says, I like that me, quote unquote, comment. I was trying to think of something to say. Yes, Juan Gale is beautiful. So I would give my comments as, ladies, what does a man get out of a marriage? Well, best I understood it, from my father and, listening to the minister and just a whole host of other men, a man should get peace. A man should get in his woman that is in the marriage with him, heaven on earth. That's what she is supposed to be to him. Now, I know a lot of people don't take advice from or don't like to take advice from Steve Harvey, but he did say one of a few things that I actually liked. And he gave an example. He says, when a man comes home, if he sits in his car in the driveway and is like, he has to muster up the strength to go in there, and he's in there for 30 minutes or so, and he's like, okay, I can do it. That's problematic. But if he rushes in the house and, he's happy to see you, then you're probably doing something right. Now, listen, I'm not saying all that to say that it's all the woman's fault. The reason he does not want to come in the house may have something to do with him. Maybe he's got something else going on outside the house. I don't know. But I think a man should get peace. I think he should get, heaven on earth. And that's really up to their personal definition of what heaven is. And she should be a helpmeet and, just non-problematic as much as possible. I'm not saying there's not problems in marriages. There are. But I think that's what he should get out of a marriage. She should get heaven on earth and he should get peace. But since we flipping stuff around, she should get that too. I know a lot of times people take exception to the term happy wife, happy life. Now, of course, that's open, to interpretation as well. It doesn't mean you give her everything she wants and that makes her happy. But that means to me, if you as a man are doing right by her, she's probably going to be happy. And she's probably going to do right by you. So it's interchangeable, really. That's kind of how I see what a man should get.
Yeah, and speaking of having peace, brothers, how you going to have peace when you met I'm not saying people can't change and vice versa. The guy was in the streets and he changed his life, whatever the deal is. But a lot of you brothers, and I've got to come hard down on you brothers, y'all want peace and all this woman to do something when you met her in the strip club.
Well, I mean, a woman in the strip club could bring peace if that's what she's about. Yeah. Maybe she's waiting for somebody to bring her on off the strip club.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Same thing with the brothers that are in the streets. The sisters get him, and he's a street guy, whatever. It might take him some time. But I'm just saying, it doesn't happen overnight in some cases. So, but for the brothers, y'all want this girl to be this and that, whatever. Hey, you met her in the strip club, or you get you a Demetria. Ain't no man gonna tell me what to do. Hey, my daddy don't tell me what to do. You ain't, I mean, you gotta know what you're working with.
And I don't talk like that, by the way. Okay. You know what? Y'all can talk to any man I've been with, and they will tell you I'm a pretty dope chick. Like, for real. Listen, I don't know if that means anything, but I'm an Aries. Where is it at? I'm an Aries. If y'all believe in that stuff, I kind of poke fun at it. There's my little Aries. I'm an Aries. And so by nature, they say that we are very ambitious. We are go-getters and, all of that. And we're really sure of ourselves. And then there's a lot of negative stuff they say about us too. But I will say, you ask any man I've been with, they'll tell you that she was pretty cool.
Demetria, you've only been with two men.
True. True that. Okay. But I'm pretty cool. I want to see the best for you. I got you. You ain't coming home. Ain't no food made or in the process of being made. Like you're not coming home to no dirty house. I work from home. So, I got that on lock. I ain't running the streets. I ain't one of those women out there. You be like, baby, where you at? You gone every night. Every night I got you in the juke joint. I got to fight for your love. I ain't that type of woman. I got a 50-11 girlfriends and we having hot girls. Listen, I'm at home, or if I'm out and about, I'm handling business. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm telling you, anybody I've ever dated, they'll tell you she was pretty cool, most of the time. Don't talk to my baby daddy, though. It's a different story. I'm just kidding. He'll tell you the same thing. All right, back to these comments. All right, and so Frank, okay, you got a YouTube. Put the link. We want to check it out. And this is Donovan's information here. And Robin says, I love Phil. He cracks me up about the simps and the hyenas. Yeah. Yeah, Phil really does need to be a comedian. He really does. I'm like, damn.
Now I've been following Phil when he first started, and him and Tommy Sotomayor when they both first started. And Phil was doing his show, and he had a shower curtain behind him. He was doing it out of the bathroom. So
yep. Yes, Marshawn says, love Phil. And Marty says, what kind of woman can you deal with that don't know how to cook? That's bad. That shows what type of parents she has, which is not good. Even families should have always show you how to be able to cook. Yeah, I learned from my mom, my grandmothers. My daughter's father was a cook, so I learned a lot of things from him. He taught me how to make gravy, and I know how to make gravy. I mean, I'm just saying, I make gravy often. And let's see here. And then on the issues. Oh, okay. And Sharon says a man should have peace within each on the same page, allowing each other to be the job between each others. Okay. And Robin says exactly that home should be the sanctuary. Yes, it should be a place of peace. And Marshawn says driveway thing sounds like going to my job or coming home to my apartment, laugh out loud, but I am blessed. Lots of people are suffering. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. So a lot of people, men and women, sitting in the driveway is like, oh God. That's Shahrazad Ali has said. She says a lot of men sometimes don't know who they're gonna get when they go in the door. You know, who's gonna be on the other side? Is she gonna be mad? Is she gonna be nice? You know, but I don't know. And Frank says, I'm a Sagittarius. We both fire signs. Yes, fire signs are. Whew. Marshawn says Aries too, but I don't follow it. Laugh out loud. I follow it in jest. Like to me, it's a joke, you know. And so it's funny to me. I don't know how true it is. I think you can apply a lot of those things to everybody. They say, yeah, they're talking about me. And
yeah, I'm a Taurus, so again, you can't tell me nothing. If you ain't got it on paper, you can't tell me nothing.
All right, so let me get to these other comments. And Sharon says, well, they got what they paid for. A real man only invests for each other's and their family. And the Pioneer says, this is why I say everyone shouldn't be married. Some men aren't going to be happy no matter who's waiting for him on the other side of the door. If he's a loner or introvert by nature, no woman will work. That is true. And Sunlight says, agreed, Demetra. Okay, horoscopes do give an insight, but not the full rundown, but insight. Yes, indeed. And Moni says, I love when a man knows how to cook something other than just sit back and fry a bunch of unhealthy food. Let's be clear. Some men demand that if you know how to cook, you got to cater to them. No thanks. I mean, I don't mind catering, but, you know, it should be both ways. It's not like, you know, yes, it needs to be both ways.
No. It ain't cold enough.
That's color purple for you young whippersnappers. Alex says a lot of people ruin their own relationships by being selfish and more. Yes, indeed. And I don't even think a lot of people realize that they are selfish because they're just used to it being all about them. Narcissistic, me. If you with somebody and they ain't asked how you doing in a while, you might have to read. I'm not talking about that bland tuna fish. How you doing? Like, hey, baby, how you doing? Everything good? You feeling all right? Y'all see how I said that? Nah, hey, how you doing? That could have been a stranger off the street. And a stranger off the street would probably say it with a little bit more compassion, right? So, you know, yes, Frank, put your YouTube up and we will go over there. And I got to remember all these YouTubes. And Marty says, Demetra, you know, I do astrology and I say you should be compatible with a person astrologically always first, as well as spiritually well connected. Take your time, get to know the first person. Well, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound bad and I don't mean it this way, but I've dated probably all of the astrological signs. Listen, I'm not the type of woman now that, you know, I've dated. I didn't say, and They all kind of crazy to me. I think I've dated most of them. I probably haven't, but not all of them for sure, but most of them, right? Daughter's father was a Leo, and ooh, I've seen myself pushing him down a flight of stairs once. I was young 20s though. He was doing some things to me I didn't really like. And then Frank says, I don't think I did it right. Now could I copy it? Yeah, you have to go to like the what is that, the hyperlink box, and copy that link and then paste it in the comment section. So like you're gonna type something in on in the internet. Go to your page and you should be able to copy that. I think Sharon says, in the driveway on the phone will hurt your relationship if it's not business. Yeah, a lot of people do that too. They cupcaking in the driveway with their boo thing before they go in the house. All right, baby, I ain't gonna be able to call you when I get in the house because I can't be on my phone like that. She gonna wonder who I'm talking and texting, and all of that. So, baby, I'm gonna call you as soon as I get the car in the morning, type of stuff. I mean, yeah. Donovan's frozen up, or is it me? I think he laughed himself too hard, but he'll be back if it ain't me. And let's see here. And Marshawn says, y'all, all those color purple jokes. I'm just saying. And Sharon says, the only catering is cooking and showing him how to, just in case something happens for me. Fair trade. Yeah, learn how to at least boil water, right? Donovan, you back? Or was that me?
I think that was you.
Was it me?
Oh, no, it was me. Somebody said I was froze.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you was. I was like, and Pioneer says, sis, there are some truth to astrology and horoscopes, because just like the moon affects your brain chemistry, the position of stars affects your brain chemistry also, but much of it has been corrupted. Okay. And let's see here. They skipped up. Okay. And Monet says, Gemini is where it's at, people. Oh, you must be a Gemini. And Monet says, Donovan, I agree. It's on both sides. I must be stern believer. A woman must be independent to be able to make it. Any event is in her life. She can cook and clean for herself, have her own roof. Okay. And Marshawn says, Miss D, laugh out loud. I can learn from you, and I can learn from you too. And Alex says, they don't be cupcaking in the driveway. Or they do be. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they be the cupcaking in the driveway. I'm saying it. Okay, listen, don't call me. What does Stevie Wonder say? Call once, pick up the phone to let me know you made it home.
No. Wait.
I don't want nothing to be wrong with my part-time lover.
What about the most recent one? With Mr. Biggs, busted 2 o'clock in the morning.
Or saving the boo thing on the Pizza Hut. Why Pizza Hut talking about, baby, you get that picture I sent you? I'm just saying. Morgan says, Donovan, it ain't about the loving. If Demetra could have the man to do the grass, it's time to kick his broke behind out. We can satisfy ourselves with toys. Oh, Lord. Let's be clear. Well,
ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like that.
I'm going to leave it at that. But yes, we didn't stay together too long after that, after I was out there mowing the grass in the hot heat. And I'm telling y'all, I'm a hell of a landscaper. If y'all ever need somebody to come through, y'all got a landscape company, call your girl. I'll be out there weeding and doing the bushes and all of that. I know how to do it all, okay? I can. Let's see here. Get to these other comments. And Marshawn says, Miss D, I laughed. Yeah, he laughed himself so hard he froze. Yes. And Robin, you say you're a Gemini too. My mama was a Gemini.
My mama is a Gemini.
Woo, you talking about head spinning around like the Exorcist? It's like, wait a minute now. Wait, what happened? But I don't think that's you all. And the Pioneer says, of course, I get the quote unquote, if it ain't cold enough, color purple joke. He also said, I know your daddy kicked you out. That was one of my mother's favorite movies, so I know it almost by heart.
My mom too. My mom loves it.
Oh, I think black women couldn't stand the Negro for a long time after that.
No, actually, this is how you can tell if an actor is an excellent actor. When I say actor, that's for women and men. That's the acronym for. There's no more actresses. It's either actor or whatever. Danny Glover is still hated today based on that role. Based on that role. A lot of black women won't fuck with Danny Glover. That's when you know a guy's a good actor, when you just hate a person based on a part they played.
He played the hell out of that, that's for sure. Morning says, when I was coming up, my mother and father had divorced while I was very little, about 4 or 5 years of age, but they were still interacting, co-parent. At the end of the day, my mother was able to hold it together. Yes, indeed. Cupcaking, that's what they doing in the driveway, cupcaking. It's like, don't get your cupcakes burnt, brother. Okay? I got a story like that too, but I ain't gonna tell it to y'all today. It might you might trigger me. Sharon says, yes, and a woman gotta be able to teach everyone in her family. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, my daughter knows how to cook. I'm wondering if she gonna cook something for dinner. She's a better cook than I am. I will say that. And Alex says, okay, this took a left with the toys. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I'm just keeping it real with you. I don't know what they talking about. And Sharon says, nothing kicking are too soon without a chance. And I'm probably reading that wrong. And let's see here. Hey, Phil, what we conjure Phil up? Yay, we got Phil in the building. And you say, hey, Sister Demetria, I hope all is well. Yes, all is well. We were just talking about you and how much we love you and how you be cracking us up, and maybe your other calling should be a comedian.
Yeah, I gotta talk about those Simps.
Yeah. And also, y'all don't forget to get 7 steps to decolonize the mind. I finished reading this book. I did a little book review on the African Diaspora News Channel as well. Very simple read. It's a day read. My daughter said it was a day read. To me, it was like 3 because, I'd be getting distracted doing other things. Very simple to read. The words are big, easy to follow along. It's actually transcribed, I guess you could say, from a podcast. So directly from the podcast, you can hear it, read it as Phil speaks. So you guys pick that up. I got it on Amazon. And Phil, if you can get it somewhere else, please let us know where we can get it. Other than Amazon, but that's where I got mine. Great read. And let's see here. You ready? I was talking about, I was wondering what you were going to make for dinner. I was saying that you're a good cook, though. And Tanaya says, you're Gemini as well. Sharon, Gemini. Alex says, some people just don't know. One time I went to my mentor's mother's house to cut her grass on a super hot summer day. She had the nerve to bring me some sparkling water. I like sparkling water. What's wrong with that? Or you want like a plate with it too or something? And Robert says, I'm a cool Gemini though, but I can't get a person all the way together if I have to. Yeah, y'all Gemini.
All these Geminis on this show. What's going on here?
My mom was a Gemini. Lord have mercy. She was like one of the, what you call, sweet and sour little candies. She could be real sweet and loving. Then on one hand, she was sour. It's like, woo. Marshawn says, Danny is a great actor. Yes, he is.
Excellent actor. Now, when it comes to his panning for the reparations thing, I didn't appreciate that.
Oh, when they had him up there at the Capitol. And the Pioneer says, most of his cheating and deception came from 2 things. 1, religion, and it's forcing people to live under unnatural laws. And 2, Black folks trying to imitate Caucasian marital and sexual habits and falling for it. Good point.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because as you see, a lot of our people are trying to separate themselves as a special class because they might be trans or LGBTQ or whatever. So yeah, I agree with that. The fact that we try to emulate the white Caucasian marital status and sexual preference.
And Sharon says, because he's the best, Danny Glover. Yes, he is. And Alex says, not a regular bottle of water, but nasty pop like water. I love sparkling water. Perrier, oh my God, I love it. I like sparkling water better than flat water, but that's just me. And everyone said hello to Phil. Yes, indeed. Always a pleasure to have him here. And Monet says, I miss Phil's ratchet video weekly. Well, go over to the Philip Scott show. He has another channel, Philip Scott show, and he's talking about a whole host of things, but it's stuff people need to hear. You know, unfortunately, I think we have become so, and I know, especially on, you know, YouTube and different other social media platforms, we got to be careful. But a lot of people are just afraid to speak truth to power. There's ways to do it. There's ways to do it without you getting yourself blocked and all of that, you know, doing the most. But he's saying things that people need to hear. Like, because a lot of people, especially men, maybe they don't have a man in their life and they don't know what they're doing is not the right way to go about it. And so when you have a show like that, they're learning some things. And he's not teaching men to not like women. He's teaching men to be men, because at the end of the day, most women worth her weight want a man that knows how to be that. So I love it. And Sharon says, cooking and watching. Okay, well, what you cooking? And Honeydew says, laugh out loud. My comments. He says, I'm tired of getting people together. They may be big mad in my family. Pioneer says, black men have a higher testosterone rate, giving us a stronger and healthier sex drive, which is why we desire sex with multiple women. We have to struggle not to do it, which means it's not natural. Well, you know what? You better crack open a good book or something. I don't know, but figure it out, okay? Because a lot of women ain't going to be cutting for you doing that to her. There's a lot of women on cell block H in the penitentiary somewhere, okay? And let's see here. Monet says, Geminis unite. I'm scared. No, just kidding. Says, we are not as bad as people make us out to be. We are misunderstood. Mm-hmm. One who cares, you say you're a Scorpio. Okay, and Jeremy says the Leo fixed the washer. All right, so you finally finished fixing your washer. I know that's right. And Ashanti says, is married to benefit a man. Mr. Voice could be not. Who's to say? He did say that. I mean, it's supposed to be beneficial for both people. It shouldn't be one-sided, right? Sharon says, my dad is a Gemini as well. I have always been fair. Please don't push and piss me off. Two-Face shows up. Oh, Lord. Yes, I know. Mama, like I said, my mom was a Gemini. Sweet woman she was, but man, I saw my mom when I was like 11 flip over a table because my father didn't like that she mixed the black eyed peas and the okra together. And he was like, what is this? And she got upset. It was like, ah. And I was like, yes. Because I wasn't going to eat that. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to be eating no slimy black eyed peas and okra. So I was glad he did it. But my mom, yeah, I remember that. And let's see here. Moni says, from a professional standpoint, Demetri, if you don't check out the sign capability, sometimes you will get people that won't dare waste your time with. If you are a water sign, get with Earth. Okay. I mean, like I said, I just kind of look at it like, eh. And Sharon says, yes, still learning. And Alex says, and it was room temperature. Oh no, flat bubbling water, room temperature. No, I gotta be cold. It says, if I'm burning up outside, I want a cold water. Yeah, it's like, come on, ma'am. Really? Robert says, Demetri and Donovan, y'all gotta have Phil on the show someday. We would love to have him on. Yes, indeed. I absolutely agree.
Even just for a few minutes, just to, chop it up real quick.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, if he wants to, he shoot it. It ain't nothing but a word. We would love to. And Honeydew says, take a damn cold shower, brother. Yeah, because, anything else, you creeping outside your marriage might get you killed. I'm just saying, Y'all seen Burn in Bed? Oh, he was beating her. But Lorena Bobbitt. Just think of Lorena Bobbitt, and that should help you
well, how many people follow the Trey King show? He did a story last week in regards to this woman had married this dude. He was packing, getting ready to leave, and she killed him and had her kids help her chop the body up or something and get rid of him. And and they were only married for like a month.
Yeah, just take a cold shower and avoid being in somebody's suitcase. And Moni says, it's nice, Donovan, to have a man in your life for the sake that he is a man, for the sake of meeting that one that you could possibly grow old with. That's the way God intended it to be. Always take self. Yeah, I mean, I would think so. And Sharon, you say grilled onion, sauerkraut, and potato with corned beef is what I'm cooking. Ooh, and I'm starving.
See, this is what I don't like about Black folks nowadays. Where's the damn tradition? Nobody's making any government cheese with the government block cheese, making the good grill sandwiches or the bologna where that thing would fry up in the middle. When you fry the bologna sandwich up, it would fry, you fry it in the pan and the bologna would bubble. Don't act like you don't know I was the only one that did that.
We don't live there no more. Okay? We've elevated past the government cheese. I had a government cheese a few times, and I was like, I mean, back then it was like, oh, but you know how much that block of cheese would cost now?
Exactly. You had to get that big knife to cut it and put your weight on it.
Right. And the ends would get hard if it got the air too much in it. Oh man. But it sounds good, Sharon. Save us a plate. Honeydew says we are misunderstood, and half the time we ain't thinking about your ass. Talk about Geminis. I don't know if y'all misunderstood. No, you guys probably are. Sunlight says, laugh out loud. Yeah, Geminis have two heads, notorious for playing game. Mm-hmm. Sharon says, don't have to slammy. There is a way to cook it correct. Oh, have to be slimy. I'm sorry, have to be slimy. I just didn't want to eat it. I was glad my dad cut up at the table. Needless to say, the whole dinner we didn't get to eat it. We probably had a government cheese sandwich because the table got flipped over, but it is what it is. And Marshawn says, I watch Trade King. I watch him every once in a while, every blue moon. And Pioneer says, Queen, I support honesty. You don't cheat on your wife or even your girlfriend. If you believe in having sex with multiple women, you let the women know this up front to give her the option. Yes.
Absolutely. Don't take her choice away. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're going to give you all of our opinion. All of it. Surely.
As we go. Shout out to Trey King. And Marty says, Demetra, I got a show idea. Happened to have seen my neighbor brutally stabbed in front of my door last Thursday. And I have it on camcorder. I had news that came out and did a story this week, Monday. Oh, wow. Well, oof. Did they live? That's awful. That's horrible to see. Sharon says, yes, I do make cheese. Cheese any kind I want. Okay. Jalen, what's going on with you? Says unpopular opinion, but I see nothing wrong with depending on your man. Sometimes interdependence is when you become codependent when the unhealthy traits start.
No, that is not an unpopular opinion. That is a deep opinion. Very, very deep. Woo!
Marty says, but I need to draw more attention on the matter. I think you meant attention on the matter if you can be disabled, and there are agencies putting you in inhabitable housing and making no real effort to help you get in suitable handicap housing. Yeah, that is an issue. And the Pioneer said, Donovan, we can still do that because I bet that 5-pound block of cheese didn't have to be refrigerated and would last 20 years. Laugh out loud. And don't forget about the powdered milk and potato flakes. Listen, we had all of that when I was a kid. Oh man. Whoa.
I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember. A lot of Black folks got their drinkingware and their dishware out of the detergent box. You should get that free glass. It'd be like a green glass or whatever. It'd be in the detergent box. And your grandma would always collect them.
Okay. Sharon says too far away, but anyway, we'll anyway and eat it for you. Yes, please. Yes. And hey, Guns Tip, how you doing? You say, I made my best grilled cheese with it. Yeah, can you imagine that grilled cheese sandwich with that government cheese? Probably fire. Do they still make it or sell it or give it away now?
No, the surplus was done. That's why they were giving it away. It was a surplus.
Got it.
So,
there's a lot of constipation going on in a lot of households in America.
I never understood what my mom was always like, drink some water. Drink
some of this powdered milk. Pioneer says, like Steve Harvey said, we call it government cheese. We got the powdered milk cheese and a few other goods, but we didn't get any bologna in Michigan. We had to buy that ourselves. Spam.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't do that. Beanie weenie, I can't do any of that stuff.
I vowed once
the sausages.
When I got on my own to never eat Spam again, and I haven't. But to some restaurants sell it as like
it's a Hawaiian staple. You go to Hawaii, that's a Hawaiian staple.
What is it? It's schmeat. It's like meat, animal parts.
Entrails and stuff all thrown together. Yeah, entrails and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had plenty of Spam sandwiches in my life.
Yeah, and do you know what a good thing is, though, for those of us that have children and grandchildren? They don't know nothing about that. And that shows that we've made some progress.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, brother. And one who cares, you know, Honeydew, he says, man, amen, leave the powdered milk out of it. Okay. And one who cares says, sure did. And the dish towels also.
Yeah, you can the dish towel. That's right. Yep.
And Sharon says, Demetri, I have a really good yoga recipe. Well, what is it? Yes. One who cares, Vienna sausages. Oh my God. Whew.
Horrible. Horrible.
You know what though? No shade to the ancestors. My mama being one of them, R.I.P. You know, my stepfather, who was I called my father. You know, when times was rough, they did what they had to do. So you know, it's a joke now, right? But back then, that they did what they had to do. You know, and we may not have what we wanted to eat, but I thank God Almighty that we had something.
They broke bread. Our parents broke bread. That's for damn sure.
Yes, because, you know, I say this a lot. There's a lot of people, they're not saying, what are we going to eat tonight? They're asking, are we going to eat tonight? And if you ain't asking, are we going to eat tonight? You are blessed, right? You may not have what you want to eat. And I haven't had that situation in a long time. And I thank God for that. But even if you don't have what you want to eat, do you have something to eat though? So just throwing that out there. Not that y'all asked. All right, so let's see here. And we're going to close it out with these last comments. And the Pioneer says, sis, a comedian made a joke about that government cheese. He said it was the type of cheese that would have you on the toilet with that one arm gripping the bathroom sink.
Or you have two hands lifting yourself up. Trying to get it out.
Damn. And Super Sam Clark, how you doing? You say, y'all remember potted meat? Just
yeah, yeah, a lot of people don't know this. Potted meat was Vienna sausages ground up. That's what potted meat was.
Man.
How do I know that?
Man, I'm telling you, boy. And Moni says, to meet you, out on depends on no human being to never wash my underwear. Let's be clear, because my mother raised me better than that. If a man is taking care of what he's supposed to, and it's no sex involved, and your comment cut off. And Honeydew says, sound like a pound of gout eating Spam. Yes. Ugh. And you also say liverwurst, mustard, and onions.
How many of you guys remember, especially y'all folks down there in the South, hog head cheese? In California, we didn't even know what that was when they were saying that.
Thank God. I thought it was, I didn't know that was real until somebody told me, yeah, hog head cheese is real. And Marshawn says, rip to my mom and my BFF, second mom, rip. Yes, indeed. My mom is also transitioned into an ancestor, so I know what that's like. And the Pioneer says, don't mention the potted meat. I used to tear up some potted meat with some Ritz crackers.
Yeah, look, and if you got a little of the, what's that Ritz cheese that goes on top of it?
No. Now y'all making me want to go eat a salad or something.
See, but the thing is, we didn't get Ritz. We got the white label cracker box.
That was like paper when you ate it. It wasn't like no saltine crackers. It was like paper mache. Robert says, potted meat, sardines, and Vienna sausages, I can live without. Yes, indeed. Sharon says, yeah, Demetri, so no Spam for me and unhealthy. My mother fed me a lot of it. Very surprised that I recovered. Same here. It's like, again. Ugh. And one who cares says, buttermilk and cornbread. My grandparents ate that. Yes, my grandparents too. I've had it. Wasn't bad, but it's like, what is this? What is buttermilk? It's like soured milk or something with some rotten milk or some buttered pieces in it. I don't know. And Pioneer says, thank you, Queen and King. Great show and great job. No, thank you. It's thanks to you guys. Sarah says, potted different bird parts from all kinds of birds. I used to make it. Oh, beaks and feet too.
Grind it up. Grind it up.
Tawana, hey, how you doing? It says government cheese made the best grilled cheese sandwiches. Yes, it did. It slices thin, not that stuff make you grip the toilet. And Honeydew says hoghead cheese. My grandparents ate that. And Sunlight says, yep, hoghead cheese and saltines. Sharon says, yes, I'm alive. And Super Smack, now Super Sam Clark, I don't know why I want to say that. He says the hoghead cheese and crackling. Crackling?
You know, that's the pork rinds.
Oh, I grew up Muslim too, but then when my mom married my stepfather, we ate a little pork every now and then. My father was just horrified, but what could he do, right?
Yeah, but there's an old saying in the South, Dimitri. You got to remember this. You're going to be down there for a while. Black folks eat everything but the oink.
I am not finna be eating everything but the oink. I'm plant-based any damn way. I eat chicken every blue moon. I don't want to lie to kick it to y'all. But I'm primarily plant-based. But I'm not going to be eating no rooter to the tutor and all of that.
They eat the lips, the ears, the tail, all that stuff.
Why? Why is you eating lips and tails? Okay. Marshawn says, my mom loved all that type of food. Laugh out loud. I am a picky eater major. I'm sort of that way too. And Amy later says, my condolences to everyone that has lost somebody dear to them. Yes, indeed. That's something you never get over. Losing your mama, you just learn to live without her. But that is not something you never get over. Whew. And Jeremy says, I got laughed at the first time I ate hoghead cheese because I was looking for the cheese. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, some sort of cheese. And Honeydew says, all that ground meat and cheese in one bathroom. Oh, man. Well, at least you didn't have the runs, right? And Tanaya says, good night, beautiful spirits. Everyone have a great, fantastic week. Yes, indeed. And you do the same. And Sam, he says, buttermilk and cornbread. We used to make that too, man. Robin says, fried fat back. I grew up eating all that mess. That's why I mainly eat fruits and vegetables now, man. Damn, fried fat back. That just sounds all kind of wrong. Pioneer says, I remember buttermilk and cornbread like you, sis. I think it was spoiled milk. Laugh out loud. I didn't understand how they could eat that. I now realize it was because adult Black folks couldn't tolerate regular milk. Okay. And honey, do you say pig skins? Okay, crackling is pig skins. And Robin says, my sister can make a whole entire meal out of some barbecue pig feet. Eric, how you doing? He says, hello, D and Donovan. Donovan, what you mean people in Cali didn't know about hoghead cheese is most Blacks in Cali has Louisiana roots, so stop pretending y'all bougie.
No, well, what it was we knew about it, but they didn't sell it in the stores. You couldn't get it in the stores. The only time I saw hoghead cheese growing up was when I went down to the South, and that was it.
Thank God. Pickle pig feet, honey. You said pickle pig feet, okay. And Sharon says, have lots of vegetables going on the side, slowly but surely moving away from meat. Yes, indeed. I moved away from meat. Like I said, every once in a while, I have some chicken wings or something, but every once in a while. And Pioneer says, Queen, not only that, I remember when they were eating the pig brain and scrambling with eggs. Why are you eating pig brains?
Yes, well, like I said, chitlins. Everybody knows what chitlins are.
Ooh.
Malcolm X called them guts.
Pig brain. Why? Marshawn says, Eric P, my mom did too. And Pioneer said they also ate beef tongue. They call it lingua or something like that. And Honeydew says, milk protein is not natural to humans. We can only either adapt or have gastrointestinal issues. And they said most Black people are lactose intolerant. So I didn't even drink milk even before I went plant-based.
Well, most animals notice that they'll drink milk, and then once they get nurtured off it, they can go the rest of their life without it.
Yeah, we the only ones that keep drinking it. And Honeydew says, oh, no. And the Pioneer says they also ate something called sweet bread, which was a pig's pancreas. Robin says, my dad and grandfather raised pigs and chickens. We saw where everything came from. I
had an uncle that had a pig farm, And I didn't understand why my grandmother was saving all this stuff in this bucket. Like, you know, he had like the watermelon rind and all this other stuff. Then my uncle would come by like every 2 days to pick up the slop or whatever. We went to his farm and he just takes the stuff that's kind of decomposing, throw it in there, and the pigs would go and eat it, right? And I'm just about an 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, and I'm thinking, if the pig is eating that and we're eating the pig, this doesn't make sense.
I'm going to throw up when I get off of here. I just want y'all to know that. And Sharon says, all I have to say is when push comes to shove, we might eat anything to survive. You might, or I might just sit and just wait it out until I die. All right, Marshawn says, I hate milk. I like chocolate milk slightly. And Sharon says, dead is in. And Pioneer says, we ate beef tripe, which was one of the stomachs of the cow. It has multiple. Mexicans also ate beef tripe like black folks were. They call it menudo. We have a lot in common. Yeah, black people eat chitlins. Stop it. Anyway, so we're out of here. It's 2 hours on the dot. We appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you so much, Donovan, for sitting here with me on the Demetra K Show. We'll be back here on Thursday for Don't Believe the Hype. Also, thank you, Marcus Guy, for everything you do behind the scenes and making the show go further. And of course, thank you to YouTube and Facebook for being the other side of the conversation. We love having you here. As always, if you can think of something that you want us to talk about, inbox us, get a message to us, and we would love to do that. And again, we have a Cash App, Venmo, PayPal if you want to donate to the show, helping New Black Media to continue going forward. And I thank you to the members, to those of you guys who have joined as channel members. I so appreciate that.
I gotta join. I keep forgetting to join. I'll do it today.
Come on, my Daddy Warbucks, join. I got to put a special membership for you called the Donovan Sadiq Big
Level. Donovan Sadiq level. Get over here.
Big baller member. Yes. $1,000 to join every month for you. So anyway, y'all, you guys have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. And we will be back here. And the Pioneer, we'll think about adding another day. We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll seriously think about it.
Yes.
And then again, if you guys are interested, inbox me. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. It's Donovan Sadiq, 2 A's DIQ, like Raphael Sadiq. It Never Rains in Southern California. Same thing.
Yes.
So.
Donovan's on more than me. Donovan goes live 2 and 3 and 15 times a day. So yeah, y'all follow Donovan where he be doing all of that. So anyway, we love you guys. Have a great week. Peace.